this will work. I think I deleted. Hello. Welcome back. It's been a few days. It's been about 5 days, I guess, for you. Get my camera down a little bit. Nice to see you all. Welcome, and today is some good news. We have finished, I think, the preview video. Hey, Ewald, nice to see you. Of JIGSAW, the little preview video. I like to do these preview videos, you know, of each of the projects that kind of have, just for me right now, this is the video to make the video, so you can see all the parts as they happen. This is not really, of course, the video. It's just the video to make the video. And I'm going to play that for you shortly, but wanted to give everybody a moment to say hi. Does anyone need to leave in the next 10 minutes? 5 minutes, 20 minutes, anything like that? We're all here for the next few hours. That's great. Just kidding. Probably won't be that much to go over, but I'll probably have enough time to play through all the parts again of JIGSAW and, of course, answer any questions you've got, which is prime time right now. If you've got any questions off the bat, go ahead and throw them out. Happy to see what we can do to answer them, or we'll stall and we'll start sweating, you know. Whew, I don't know. Yeah, Arlene, hello.
Hey, I haven't printed them yet. I'm just wondering if you anticipate any updates anytime soon, because I don't like to print it until
I hear you.
I think a lot of them are made.
I think there will be some updates, and there's some Boeings that will be coming out. Mostly okay. Boeings. I don't think there's many note changes, but it'd be Boeings, and on occasion just some advice on fingerings maybe. I noticed at some locations it's probably a good idea to give people some fingering suggestions, because there's in general, I like to always say and mention, if you have a moment that's hard, you know, like a big jump and a shift up in a DVC part, get that. Make sure that you do what you can. Sit out. I'll showcase you what I'm talking about in a second, but there's a moment
all right.
In parts.
Thanks.
But sure, that's a good question, Arlene, and that'll be really rapido. Probably in the next couple of days, will be mostly final, except for then errors. So, yes, Fleur, hello.
I have a question about the false harmonics.
Oh,
if
cool.
you can show them, or I'm not really sure how to get the sound.
Sure.
And
yeah.
also there's also in part one sort of like a gliding to the F, like sort of like a gliding sound.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I was wondering, where do you start? Do you start on an E to an F, or how do you, or are you just?
I probably start halfway between an E and an F up to the F sharp.
Okay.
I don't know. It's but yeah, we'll talk
Doesn't
about both
matter.
of those. Those are great questions. Great questions, and happy to dive right into it. Anybody else got it? We can just assimilate all the questions, but we'll just go from there. Keep in mind, we can stop anytime and go into anything else. I'm gonna share my screen with the current version of Cello 1. I'm gonna try to, at least. I got 14% left on my iPad. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have stayed up last night watching Severance. Anybody watching Severance at all? Spooky little show. Oh my goodness. Really spooky. It's like it's a crazy little premise too. I've lost the hold on. Yeah,
I watched the first episode, and it was a while ago. I haven't decided if I'm going to watch anymore.
I did the same.
Is it worth watching more?
I did the same
yes,
thing, Arlene.
You should.
The first episode, the first 2 episodes maybe, and I was like, you know, I'll get to that, or I don't know what I thought, but it didn't grab me. And now it's like, it's great because it's like suspenseful, but it's not hokey or scary. It's really slow. There's not anything that's like, I don't know, it's a cheap trick that jumps out at you, a monster in the corner or anything like that. It's a psychological sort of thriller thing. But I just kind of like
you should watch
it's
it.
Simple. Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I'll get back to it.
Okay, good. I'm only on episode 5. 5 or 6, something like that. So anyway, it's been fun. I watched it with my parents. I went to visit my parents over the past 3 days. That's kind of where I was, up in Dallas. So spent some time with them and watched a number of things. Let's go with the false harmonics first, Fleur. So I'm going to give you I love, or just to mention, anytime anybody brings up false harmonics, I think it's a good idea to start at the principle and the overlying idea of false harmonics. And they're really harmonics. There's nothing false about them. They're just, instead of using the string in its native length, you're modifying the length as you move as you change notes. So you've got lots of harmonics on the cello. The halfway point, the 1/3 point, the 1/4 point. Oops. There it is. And it's this one that we're modifying. So we take this 4th finger spot, and we have to, we stretch all the way back, and we can touch the nut. We call that the nut of the cello there, right? And all we're going to do then is move our first finger up and basically shorten the length of the string while we're retaining that harmonic hand shape or technique, which is first finger down very firmly so that the string length is really shortened, and then the 4th finger reaches out and just basically barely touches the string. My other 2 fingers are just in the air over the cello so that I can actually make the reach happen, because it is a 5th. It's an octave that you're reaching here across 2 strings, but you're just doing it on 1 string. So first finger down very firmly. This is how I do it. I have a really, they're not freakishly big hands by any stretch, but they're adequately sized to reach this octave. But if that's hard, a lot of people back when you get in the lower positions will pull the thumb out, make the thumb be the one that's actually pushing the string down totally, and then just barely touching the string with the higher finger. And I think one of the easiest things to start with is just to play a bit of a scale. Like you're kind of doing, you can even practice what this is, because it is moving in stepwise motion. There's no jumps, and there's no jumps across strings. But it is a great little improvisational tool to have. I use it every gig I've got pretty much. There's a moment when if it's a gig that's pretty open where I kind of get to play around. And you can get like some really slow vibrato even. There you go, Rowan. So that was that Diosiri. That's kind of the basic underlying fundamental. Now you could do a false harmonic. If you could reach this, you could go and slide that up. I guess I can reach it. So I'm using, and it makes the same sound, so it's kind of pointless because you could use the same pitches on the D string using the other harmonic. That may have been more confusing. You can do what I'm talking about with any harmonic. All you're doing is you're just changing the length of the string and using either, this is the one we always use, this is the one I just used that nobody ever uses, and of course no one would ever be able to use this because your hand would have to go back here and press that while you move that up and lightly touched with your other. You could do it with 2 people maybe, and somebody else bows the note. So maybe if you've got a friend and you want to play around with harmonics, you can do that. Another thing that helps it speak is to have your bow close to the bridge, and that just seems, if it's not speaking so well, I said this last session, harmonics are mysterious, and in some ways you'll practice them and you'll have them down. You'll be so confident to play a recital of one of the pieces that two pieces in mind come into mind. One is the Saint-Saëns Cello Concerto. There's a big long scale that goes all the way up to here, and then the very next note is 2 octaves higher, and you go all the way back to first position. The next note is just 1 step higher, but you jump all the way back from thumb position to play this B flat next note, or maybe it's an A. Anyway, then it becomes a mystery. Another one is the Casado solo sonata. Has anybody ever played that piece? That's a freakingly cool, awesome piece. So it's... That's the opening, and it's just like... It's just for cello. Anyway, that's the first movement. I don't remember in what movement it is, but there is a moment that's got some false harmonics in it that is another pitfall where you'll play it 85% in practice, and in performance you'll only get it 20%. That's what I mean about them being unpredictable, scary, and awful. There's really they're not comfortable to practice typically, especially up here when you have to use your thumb. What's wrong? Anyway, as you can tell, I need to practice. So that's my probably everything I could tell you about harmonics. That's not everything, actually. There's a little bit more, but that answers hopefully your question of how to play them better. I think it's really fascinating just to get into the physics of what is happening. So I'm going to talk about it real briefly. So pretend this is a string, or from the bridge to the, we'll just say it is a string. From the bridge to the nut, we have 1 string length, right? And that string, every time you pluck it, bow it, whatever, it vibrates from end to end, like that. And then it responds and it comes down. So it basically does this when you pluck it or bow it. That's how it vibrates. Now, if you stick your finger right in the middle of it, it can't vibrate anymore like this. You're basically putting your finger right in the peak of the waveform. You're forcing that point right there to not vibrate whatsoever. So basically, instead of that, it's going to vibrate like, I can't do it, but each one of those sections is going to vibrate like this, which is essentially dividing the string into different lengths. And if you do it right in the middle, it divides it in half. And if you know about dividing things into half on the string, dividing it into half means that we jump up octaves. We go from a lower octave to a higher octave. We also double our frequency. That's why this is our 220A, 220 hertz, or 220.5 for all global cello projects, and 441 for this A. And this is the oboe A that the orchestra tunes to, right? 220.5. That's 220 times a second that string is going back and forth. And down here, on your C string, it's 63 times a second. 63 is the number for your C string. That's as low as we can play on our instruments, but the human ear can go down to 20 hertz is what it's called, of being able to hear for most people, I guess, typically. So, dang, I could talk a little bit more about harmonics. I hope that was useful, informative, and you just weren't like, dude, I just want to know how to play the darn thing. So, but if it's not speaking, like right there, just I had a moment when I said, oh, why is it not working? All I did is I went from this far away, my bow from the bridge, and I shrunk it to right over the bridge pretty much, and it speaks so much easier. Well. And when you're putting your finger down to to touch the string just barely, you want to make sure that's just the smallest part of you, or the smallest. You don't want to like have like your whole pinky be sideways and touch too much of the string, because that node is actually just a point. It's infinitely small, or it's just small. I don't know if it's infinitely small, but it's smaller than your pinky is where, because on the outsides of that, it's right at that point, it's vibrating up and it's vibrating down on the string. Woo! Okay, well, next question. Thank you. I love harmonics are really cool just because I like physics too. And then you asked about this slide at measure, in the melody at measure 71, 68, 69, 71. You can see they're in the same bow, so it's kind of weird. You'll be like 1, 3, 4, or it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1. So I keep the bow moving. And if you listen to the original, it's imitating, of course, I don't even remember. Is that the vocal? It's just an instrument, right? But then, yeah, immediately. So that's a good practice, because that little section's all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 77. And since it's up 2 octaves, it is your first finger. It's written exactly how the bottom note is the finger you put the force on, and the top note is the finger you lightly touch. That was probably all you really needed to know, but I decided to speak for about 14 minutes on all that other stuff. Sorry about that. But let's play it. How's that sound? Any other questions before we do a playthrough? Get your music in front of you, or you can read off of the screen if your screen's big enough. Yeah, Teresa, before we get going, definitely jump in.
Hi. Yeah, I just have a quick question on cello 2, if you have that, or will that disrupt things?
Nope, go for it.
Bottom of the first page, measure 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50 going into 51. Is there a tie between those two C sharps, the C sharp at the end of the measure and the C sharp at the beginning of the next measure?
51?
I counted right.
I have it shared right now, so 51 looks like it's a B natural, and then there's a lot of rests. On cello 2?
I may have an older, let's see. Your page looks a little different from mine. Go back to the bottom of the first page, and let's see.
I see where you're talking. 53 is what we're looking at here.
Sorry, 53. Yeah, the measures on mine are really squished. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally a tie. We'll fix that. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we don't change bow across that C sharp.
Yeah, I just wondered because it was like that in every other occurrence.
Yep, totally right. And it is just an oversight, but it's in red ink now. Gosh.
Oh, it is so much easier to proofread somebody else's work.
Yes, for sure. Thanks for finding it. Let's hit it from the top. Remember, our first 4 measures are for practice. They will not appear in the video. They are just to get the groove down so that we feel it all together. And in the backing track, you will have the drums the whole time. So I hope you can hear this. Let's do it together.
1, 2,
Here's measure 1.
3, 4.
A couple of things I noticed in here I have to mark or else I'll forget. There's going to be another measure here of hold for that false harmonic, just to let you know. And I got to point this out in all of the parts, measure 131. A big change that will be in all the parts is there's a big subito piano for 2 bars with a crescendo. So that's a big old boo, 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 boo. Make sure that you know it even if you don't have the new part. As always, if you don't have the latest part, this is going to work just fine, whatever you've got. This is also on beat, too. It's amazing how. Anything else we noticed? I gotta look at
There's a couple of very strange slurs and some odd setting out as well, and some funny rest groupings, but we'll get that.
Great. Cello 2, y'all.
I got that.
Cello. Oh, Teresa and Allison. Go, Teresa. Go. Unless that's an old, is that an old hand?
Old hand. They used to disappear on their own, but I guess it's still up.
You got an old hand here. Hey, Allison.
I'm sorry, I could probably just go listen to the replay, but I'm going to ask this again anyway. Did you
Yeah,
say
sure.
it was a 5th on the harmonics? On the false harmonics?
A 5th? It's your octave stretch, you know. So you'll be stretching what feels like an octave, but it's a 4th.
Okay, so the
It's a
distance
4th.
between thumb and top finger should be the 4th?
Should be a 4th, exactly.
Okay, so if I'm not getting the same notes as you, I just need to practice then. Okay, thank you.
It'll be what's printed, which is the lower number or the lower note that's a circle is your first finger pressing, and the higher number that's a diamond is your pinky lightly touching.
Okay,
if you're
good, thank
pressing
you.
on the first one, it's a B natural, and your high finger is touching an E natural. Or thumb. And you don't have to do it on that string, too. If it's easier to reach, you can do it here. It's harder to get the D string to speak with false harmonic. But the same technique applies. You're just shortening the string length and then touching up a 4th, a perfect 4th, which is the same stretch as octaves. Whew, not even worth it. Not even worth it. Just learn them for the piece. All right, let's play 2. And cello 2 just kind of sits around and dances. 4 bars. 9 bars. 4. 2. 3. 4. 5. Here you come in. Man, that one's in some ways two is harder than one. But one does go higher. Let's talk about Ponticello for a second. Same thing down low. We're just really close to the bridge. Oops. And if some of them speak and some of them don't, that's kind of fine, because the whole section will be an interesting sound. So, and I will give us counts in that little moment. In the backing track and also on the sheet music, I'll have 1, 2, 3. So you'll hear them, so you don't have to count them. And you'll also hear, this is the last time, let's go, or something like that. Really ridiculous. I don't like the spacing through these little sections. The spacing is just too big and stupid. So I'll see what I can do about that.
And the other bits all squished up. So
yeah,
yes.
So it's hard. This was the hardest one to fit on 3 pages, but I do think it's a big priority of mine to get us all on 3 pages, so that because there's no page turns designed in here for times of having a rest, so it doesn't have enough time.
Tell me what I would say if you're gonna redo all of the layout. Is that the original 0304? That bottom line on the first page that you've now put into 2 lines, those are really long note values, and so squishing those together is a whole lot easier to read than squishing the 8th notes together.
I'll play around with that on 45, you mean?
Yeah, that whole thing, it's on 1 line in the first version, and that's pretty easy to read because the notes are all low. And then that'll give you some room, that'll give you another line for the squished together 8th notes, which are really hard to keep separate.
And that's here at 77, you're feeling like?
Well, I mean, just, different places. I know that there are different schools of whether you would put a quarter note instead of tying some of those 8th notes together, because those are sort of hard to separate out.
True. And that's another way to
solve one problem and create another.
Mm-hmm. I want people to be able to, that's easier to count what I just circled than it is if you have quarter notes in the middle of the measure and being on the half bars and stuff. So I'll play around with it for sure a bit more. Once we get the bowings kind of really finalized and just fix these minor little things, that's what the thing will be. I thought it'd be cool. Let's take a little moment instead of going right to 3. I want to show y'all and see if this works actually, and show you the preview video, which some of you were here and saw, but it's just a little bit more tightened up. And at least, it took a lot of work, so I'd like to just show it off for a second. And I think I have it here. Give me 1 sec. This will be on the website today. Zoom, why do you do this to me? And you should be able to hear it, I think. So I dressed in all green for this one. In fact, I'll just play part 3 and you guys can watch. We'll just do part 3 right now too, instead of the sheet music, and you can watch the track or play along or whatever you want to do. But I wanted also, oh yeah, if it's still open, I'll show you that later. But how I pulled this off is by wearing all green. I've got a green everything essentially with little eye holes in the top part, so you can see my glasses and my hat. And the hat really made it. You kind of need the hat. But check it out. Hold on, this isn't the latest one. Hold.
It's not syncing either at all with the video.
Well, there's nothing that first part it doesn't have anybody playing. I didn't do that. Okay, it's manage videos. That's where all the. There we go. And I guess that's the cover, which is probably okay. So here we go. So measure 5. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to play part 3, sorry. Let's start this over. I'm gonna play part 3 of all of this. Here we go.
Is anyone else seeing the video and the audio syncing, or is it jumpy?
Look at part middle 3.
I can't tell.
I'm playing the middle cello right now. Interesting to notice something there too. Anyway, That's it. That's kind of your practice video. That's also the video that I'm just using to say, hey, check it out. So that'll come out on Facebook here in a little bit. Advertising to the world. How do I get out of here? Back. Let's play 3 for real now, so we can actually have a bit of a playthrough for it with the sheet music too. Anybody got any thoughts, questions, stuff? Jump in if you want to. If you've got a question. Thanks for doing it. Okay. Get back into this. Let's do 3 together. Three is a big step down from 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
These bars don't count. Here we go. 5. A sharp. D. 17. Lots of bow. 1. It's good in second position. We're going to slur all these in too. So if you're playing part 3 and you want to make the edits in real time, we're going to slur that guy to that. That's about it. It's a tough little thing to get here, but it's totally worth it on the bowing. It's this down bow right here wants so badly to be an up bow, but play the down bow and you'll be better off. And kind of throw the bow around a little bit more there. God, this is so much fun, this tune. Cello 4, who's ready? We're doing them all. Here comes 4. I'll give you a second. Looks like Monique's putting some music up.
One, two, three, four.
Let's measure 1, 2, 3, 4. Melody. Put some uppos in here. Get rid of this crescendo. Or maybe not that one. That one's fine. What else? There's something else on this page. Oh, I just want to talk about 121. If you're looking at playing cello 4, it's just an easy thing to teach, kind of. Sometimes it's good, especially if you're bouncing the bow off and off the string. is to actually use the beats and use the rest to set the bow on the string. So at 121, I would do. And that keeps you in time and keeps you kind of like moving things forward. It's also kind of the first step towards playing some chops, right, Teresa? I think you kind of like that. So, and a chop is just instead of setting the bow on the string and not moving, it's letting the bow travel this way down the string when you move it down. Typically, it's done on beats 2 and 4. This is kind of weird to chop on beat 3. I'm not suggesting to chop. I'm just saying that if you get this down to where you can set the bow on the string during the rest, chopping is just one little step away. Cello like this, but anyway, that's just one little teaching moment I sort of thought would be kind of cool to talk about. Hey, who's anybody thinking? Who thinks what number they're going to play? 2 for Teresa, 3 for Eugenia, great. Monique, 4, Arlene. We got some 3s, some 4s. A 5 from other Regina. Christine's driving and she's going to play a 4. Okay, be careful, Christina. Or Christine, sorry. Okay, cool. Well, let's play a 5 and a 5B, and then we'll just sort of like chill and hang out. We've done our work then. So get your donuts or your pizza, whatever it is that is the common cello thing. Has anybody noticed my new glasses here? My other ones, glasses are so cheap now. That also means they break real easy, so I had to get some new glasses shipped in for me. So anyway, here comes cello 5 for you.
1, 2, 3,
Down bows.
4.
Smith. And for those of y'all, 109, great spot for cello 5 as well, to set your bow on that chop thing. It's not a chop, but we're going to set the bow. Sorry if you can't hear me. We're going to set the bow down on the string on beat 1 and bow on beat 2. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And in my demonstration, I used the worst technique. So don't follow that. Don't come up and over. But I was just trying to demonstrate this. But shoulders always down. Always keep those elbows kind of low-ish, especially on the right arm. The left arm can be a little higher. Sometimes we got to get, you know. Bye, Fleur. Are you leaving? Or is Rowan leaving? Oh, no, we're just saying hi.
Evald is leaving.
Oh, bye, Evald.
Bye, Evald.
It's hard to say keep your elbows low when you're playing something like this, of course, but only keep them as high as you need to. But 109, set, 3, 4, 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 set. So that's my hopes and dreams for that little moment. And we got one more 5B. It's not really a necessary part. It's really just there as a simplification, getting rid of some of the hardest parts of 5. But if you're ready right now with 5B, you'll definitely be able to play part 5 or keep going up in your parts. Start from the top. This will be it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Dummy bars. Third finger. Second finger. Two. Two. 61 set. Those are 77. 2. Celebrate. Cool. We did it. We did it all with all of them. I was going to see if I could play the original. Just going to pause. Woo! 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 All right. Oh dear, it's happening again. Ah, now we're going to get suspended. Shoot. Stop. Usually when I'm working on something, I have Spotify just on loop for a track. So anyway, that's what it's on for. Arlene, you got a question?
Yes. Do you have it in the same key that they
Yeah.
recorded it?
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So we should be able to play along with them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
Eventually.
Yeah, I was gonna
Eventually.
illustrate that with, I was started out playing 5B, as, you know. Yeah, exactly. Eventually or right now. But yeah, 100%. It's cool. to
Might
have
be
it in sync.
slightly different. It might be
It's
slightly
gonna
different
be-
in places.
It's going to be slightly different. And you know, notice they play the downbeat. We don't play the downbeats. Da 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 ga da ga da ga. Da ga da ga da ga da. Yeah. So that's just one of the latest things that I kind of noticed. So anyhow, gosh, how cool. How cool. Thanks everybody for being here. Anybody got anything to share? What is today? Thursday? I don't have much. I went to my parents' house. I swapped out dimmer switches for light switches and a lot of light bulb replacements, and replaced a whole light assembly. Got my parents back in being able to see in their laundry room, which was dark for probably about a month and a half, unfortunately. They were carrying flashlights into their laundry room. I know, it's awful. It's awful. So now they can see. Let there be light. Allison, what do you got?
So, backstory, before the pandemic, for like years, I was having cello friends over to play ensemble music. We had cello parties. And so the pandemic hit us and we had to stop.
Uh-huh.
But this Saturday, we're going to have our first post-pandemic cello party.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be every month now. And these binders that we had these binders. We like all had different things we downloaded from the internet. And there was a section in the back of the things that I had arranged.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And now our binders have a new section.
it's all GCP stuff?
Exactly.
Fantastic. Any highlights? Or have you started yet? Or is it still just have you got
Our first one this Saturday is our first one since the pandemic.
That's gonna be so cool. That's gonna
Super
be great.
excited.
How many? Do you know?
Don't know yet. I'm waiting to see how many people show up. I've gotten like 6 people tell me that they can't come, but the rest haven't really said otherwise. So we're gonna see.
Well, I would be there if I could.
Yay.
I
That would be
really
great.
wish- I really wish I could make
That's
it.
quite a trek though.
It is quite a trek. I hope it's a blast. That's gonna be so cool. What are you gonna start with out of our GCP work? Oh, and I want to know what else you've arranged. What else have you arranged?
Me? That particular binder, the things that I have finished is the This Land from Lion King. I did theme from Jurassic Park, and I've just added, I don't know if you saw the one I posted. I tagged you in it. The cello octet, the Song to the Moon from Rusalka.
That is not ringing a bell. I'm gonna go look it up, Allison.
I might have to send it to you because I
Please do.
credited you in there because the techniques that I learned from you, I applied to arranging that. I thought it was going to take me years and it took me months instead.
Yes, good. That's awesome. Was it? I'm so embarrassed now. Was it? Maybe I didn't think it was a video, and just thought it was a photo or something. Anyway, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go to your page right now and see if I can find it.
Okay.
Thank you. That's cool. Well, I hope it's a blast on Saturday.
Thank you.
I'm sure it will be. How can you go wrong?
And thank you for your help.
Oh, for sure. My pleasure.
It's moving faster. So
I'm so glad it's given some motivation.
it really has. Thank
I
you.
am scrolling here. I am you're a pretty good poster.
Sorry.
Quite a few things here. I did see the Kenji Bunch Super Maximum, which I had seen before.
Oh yeah, because we were playing that around the time we were starting all the cello percussion stuff, and I was like, I'm getting it from all sides here.
I'm not finding it. Can you send it? See if
I can send it, yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, Rowan, I saw your hands up.
Yeah, I've got a concert tomorrow night as well. I'm playing not tomorrow night, Saturday night. Playing with the local orchestra, and we're doing the Sousa Liberty Bell March, and we've actually got an old ship's bell to play the bell, so that's really cool. But we can't source any crash cymbals, so if anybody knows of any crash cymbals, I'd be very grateful.
There's gotta be crash cymbals around.
Oh, there are, but just no one's going to lend them to us at the moment. Our number one percussion guy who brings all the gear is not playing in this gig. So I've got 3 hand-tuned timpani to play a part for 4 timpani. But Zoe gets to play the cello in Lark Ascending. So she's helping with some bass drum, but she's also playing. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. The soloist is amazing as well. So I'm just jealous because I want to play viola in that. And someone's pinched my triangle part, so I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
But it should be fun.
I'd be reading a book through the Sousa to get to the Lark Ascending.
Oh no, I don't have that luxury. I'm afraid I've got to play. I got to play cymbals in the Sousa if we get some. It's the kitchen sink. Yeah, exactly. It's all kitchen sink stuff in that. I'm afraid.
You guys play Sousa. I figured it was. Who is Sousa?
It's Monty Python. It's the Monty Python theme. So
where's
yeah.
Sousa from? Who is Sousa? Does anybody know who Sousa is? Frank Sousa?
I assumed it was he was an American because it's all marching band stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
John Philip Sousa.
John Philip.
Yeah, that's
Sousa.
it. John Philip.
Of course,
yeah.
Teresa, that's in my brain somewhere. Now it's back. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm just surprised you guys are playing that guy.
Yeah. I know it's a bit of a giggle because the. Yeah, exactly. But it's the Monty Python theme, so it's okay. A big deal here. But Sunday is an even better gig. My kids are playing in a CBSO play together thing, and it's all computer game music. So and it's Zoe's first ever French horn gig, so in Symphony Hall. So that should be interesting. We'll see if she gets any notes, but we'll see.
Oh, I have a neat thing. I forgot about this. I'm learning trumpet. I'm swapping trumpet lessons or cello lessons for trumpet lessons with a trumpeter, a trumpeter, a trumpet player, a trumpeter.
A trumpeter.
Supporter,
Trumpsman.
a trumpsman. The trumpet's so cool. I really just want to play the muted trumpet. I don't really care about the regular trumpet. I just want to play the muted trumpet.
In this country, Trump has all two different meanings. So.
Well, us too. Is that what you mean, Donald Trump? No. Oh, you mean something else. Oh, okay. I don't know. Do you call it? I don't. Now it's. Now I'm confused, and I don't know if I should. Ask
flatulence. If one trumps, one has flatulence.
Oh, really? That's funny. I never knew that. I figured that was more like a tuba thing. If one tubas. They're wound pretty tight up there in the UK. The trumpets, I love the trumpet. I can't think, it's a very short list of instruments you can play with one hand. And trumpet's one of them. So it just seems easy to have like a trumpet handy. You can still hold your cello. I don't know. It's
drum and fife. Drum and fife you can play together.
Those are 2 different instruments, right? You mean like just like a snare drum and play? What is it? But fife?
Single-handedly, it was not the drum and fife. No, it's a 3-holer or 4-holer with a thumb and a drum at the same time. That's the idea. I've got one somewhere. Yeah, it's the idea.
It's nice to have an alp horn just sitting at the side. You can just sort of, turn around and play a drone for yourself and
bit of Strauss.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a what? I missed that.
An alp horn, the big Swiss horns.
An alp?
Alp, A-L-P.
From the Alpine Symphony, Strauss. It's a big long thing. Yeah.
I guess I never got into it. Oh, I know.
I'll send you a
before.
photo.
I've seen him before. Yeah, that's like a didgeridoo having that thing sticking out to the, or I mean, it's long. Is it not?
It's really, really long. I had an entire week where I got Alphorn lessons in Switzerland. It's the most wonderful, satisfying thing to play.
They had one on stage the other week. It went the whole length of the cello section, just about.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's really long. Yeah, the guy who was comparing the concert actually played it because he's a French horn player, and we were well impressed because he actually played the excerpt from the Alpine Symphony.
Now it's so low. I bet that as far as the harmonic series is concerned and what they can play, it's like 2 or 3 notes.
I don't think it's low. No, this guy played quite a long solo. I mean, he's a horn player, so he's quite skilled at it. But yeah, no, I think he starts
no holes. It's
no,
just a straight. Okay,
it's all that.
What? That's cool.
You're gonna learn all about that.
I know. That's great. Well, okay. It's
I mean, you know, YouTube.
Is Jeannie leaving? Bye, Jeannie. Thanks for coming today.
YouTube actually has Alphorn quartets, octets. There's quite a range of overtones. It's amazing what you can play.
I was just thinking about it too. It's probably just the same length as a trumpet. It's just all straight instead of all spinning. And
much longer.
Is it much longer?
Yeah, they're well over what, 8 feet, 10 feet.
What about French horns? I always heard French horns have an unbelievable amount of tubing.
Yeah, your double horn has a lot, but it's you don't use it all at once. But your alphorn will be a conical bore as well, whereas your trumpet is a straight bore, so it's a different.
Cool. Well, you're adding to my list of single-handed instruments. I think that's pretty awesome. Monique, have you got what's up on your mind? Oh, she.
Yes, I wanted to speak about alphorns because I live in the land of alphorns.
Ah, cool.
And they are made with the trunk of pines. The pines which grows if you have the mountain like this, and the pine grows
straight. Yeah.
I don't think the camera goes like this. So it gives the
natural shape.
Natural shape, and then yes, it's long and it's just harmonics.
And it's
just harmonics. And the special thing is the the special thing is the F, which is not sharp, not flat, in between. The special harmonic F. The same thing if you play the harmonics on the cello, very high, you will get the whole octave, the whole scale, but the F is a little strange.
No, it's the same with what you get with the bagpipes as well. That's why bagpipes are never in tune, because it doesn't overblow at the 8th properly. It's like the 7 3/4.
But the other notes are in tune.
It's so crazy. I don't know that I understand that. I know how when you write out the harmonic series, and it's like you write the octave, and then you write the 5th, and then you write the I don't know after that, the 4th. Anyway, you get to the thirds, and then those are weird and they don't match up. And anyway, but that's crazy. And I was thinking it helps that it's pine too, because that means it's lightweight. It's not as heavy as like oak would be, or a cherry tree, or any of those denser woods. I mean, it's plenty heavy probably, but it's pine. Pines are nice, like fast-growing wood that's not super heavy, not super dense. So, how amazing! Well, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of Alphorn quartets, I think. Thanks to all y'all.
I just put in the chat that my intonation and theory teacher, W. Alaudin Matthew, has a book that has harmony book and theory book that has been in print for forever, called Harmonic Experience. And he has you derive the whole overtone series from a monochord or a dulcimer or guitar. You can do it on the cello; it's a little harder, but he explains why if you're starting with C as your reference note, you will never derive an in tune F. And it is so cool. you can get a C from an F. So you can get a C as a fifth of the F, but you'll never get an F as a fourth of the C. And it's just the most wonderful set of pages to work through.
I can't wait. I'm looking at it right now. I had this experience partially just trying to tune my parents' piano for the first time. And I was real smart. I was like, I know I'm supposed to. I'll do the octaves first. And then I did the fifths. And then I just worked around the circle of fifths. And I got to the end. And I was like more than a half step off at the end, just doing it by ear. I had no idea. I was like, I just sort of thought, I'm a good cellist. I got my ears. I can hear those pitches. Nope. It's crazy.
Welcome to tempered pitch.
It blew my mind. I said, what did I do wrong? Crazy. So this is before college, I guess. This is when I was in high school and just, I didn't have any music theory until college. So, but how cool. I'm going to play, we can listen to it, see if it's worth getting a screen share on this. Monique dropped in the chat
Yes,
Alphorn
the second one is better, I think.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Okay, here we go.
The first one they sing, and then I think they play, but the second one, it's at once a beautiful Swiss tune.
You guys, this is so amazing.
With a special F, which sounds not in tune.
How does that work? That's pretty cool. I want to play this. Is this all right, Allison? Oh, Allison's gone. Oh, she's here.
I like how you started that right while my kids started killing each other and I had to stop them. And I'm like, what's that? I know that. What is that?
So you didn't get a chance to enjoy it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I've heard it before.
That's so typical, isn't it? Kids know when to do that.
Mm-hmm. Really nice arrangement.
That's the truth.
I've never heard that before. I've never played that opera, and don't know the opera.
You know, I hadn't either. I wasn't actually terribly familiar with it, but I knew that it was famous, and I looked it up, and I fell in love.
Awesome. Well, it's great. It's super great, and I'm sure. Yeah, I read the description there, and you yeah. What's playing? Do you hear that? Something's playing in my house. I think I have another device for some reason playing some other YouTube video or something like that. So sorry about that. And it's throwing me off spatially. But anyway.
Does that outporn, is that one piece or does it break down? Because you'd have to have an awfully big car.
That's true. With like a trailer, Monique?
Is it one piece?
Originally, it was one piece, but now they make it many pieces.
Okay.
Telescopics, and so you can take them, make them in small cars. So they are no more just one piece.
Yeah, Christine, you got a question from the car? You're not driving right now.
No, I'm parked finally. I just wanted to let you know. I don't know if you ever heard, because I'm on Facebook now, but there's your arrangements have been heard in New Jersey, where I'm based, and I have participated in something called the Lawn Cellos, LAWN Cellos, that I think a few participants of the Global Cello Project are in, and we just kind of got together.
Cool.
And we played some of your arrangements, so it was very cool.
That's great. This is really getting loud. I have no idea what this is. Do you hear this? Does anyone know what this is? It sounds like it's electric cello looped. I think it sounds like Gideon Freudman, who's a friend of mine. But I have no idea why it's playing. Anyway, it's in the other, I could go find it, but I think we're kind of at the end anyway, so I'm just going to let it kind of close us out. Anybody got anything else to add? It's been a joy to be with y'all today.
Are you planning on doing anything this weekend?
Yes, Saturday, 1:30. Or did I say 1:30? Hold on, no. Saturday, noon o'clock.
Yeah.
I think that's what I got. Actually, no, I forget. I forget why we're not doing 1:30. I had something that's no longer a thing.
I have a concert.
Okay.
I don't know whether it was to fit in, but I don't mind. It don't really matter, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's say noon. Let's say noon. That's what we had. We have a reason for it. So noon on Saturday, my time. Noon my time on Saturday. So you're gonna have to do the math and of course figure that out, or you'll just you'll get a notification with a countdown and the not thanks to Rowan. So so that's what I got. Yeah, noon o'clock. That's just in 2 days, 2 short days, and I've got gonna do some work on the project tonight and get a little further along on all the things that need some development. We need official backing tracks. This is really getting crazy out there. So, but all that's coming up soon, and hope to see you then, if you can, and other people, all of us other groupies too. So, thank you, and I guess I'll see you then. Okay, if there's not anything else, everybody, please take care. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday with what you got left, and
Go and see if there's still any snow outside.
go turn this off, or maybe I'll let it play. I don't know. I hope there's no snow left. I hope it's all gone for you, Rowan. I know it's so cold there. It's like it's nearly summer here. It feels like Sorry to say.
It was -2 or so last night, and about a foot of snow, which is quite unusual for us. So
Move to Texas.
yeah. I don't think you'd have me.
Arlene's pretty warm.
California's having another spate of biblical weather where
Frogs.
flooding and snow blizzards, and it's just quite an exciting day here.
What part of California are you in?
I'm in Silicon Valley, so I'm between San Francisco and San Jose, and we're getting a couple of inches of rain as we speak. And our mountains, I mean, people are dying because they can't get out of their houses from the snow, and they're getting another foot or two tonight. And
Wow.
it's just, you know, even really old people who've been here a long time have never seen anything like it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, the mountains up from us, or the hills up from us, are getting quite a lot tonight. I know there's we jokingly call it a yellow snow warning, but you know, that's what they've issued here. Yeah, don't eat the yellow snow. But yeah, it's pretty extreme. And my mum's got 42 degrees still as well in Perth. So,
Well, hope it changes soon, Teresa. And we'll see you all soon, okay?
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.